Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to SF1, the Graeme and Sophia podcast, the post Las Vegas Grand Prix review.
Yeah. Yep.
And it kind of went exactly how everyone thought it was, but in like the most unexpected way. I don't know how to say it. Just everything that
It,
happened was like, yes, that makes total sense, but
yes.
in
But then
like
it
a
all kind
terrible
of
way at the same time.
but
I
then it
don't
all
know.
kind of came together and was like kind of one of the best races of this season.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were like it's going to be a shit show but like an entertaining shit show,
Yeah. And it
and it
was.
kind of it got that vibe. It did accomplish that.
It did accomplish that. It was they surely pulled out all the glitz and glam as
Yep.
we all expected. It was definitely chuggy and cringe as well. It
But
was
a lot of meme worthy moments, which we love. We're here for it.
we are here for it, but overall, the race was more entertaining than I expected.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll dive into it. Obviously,
So real quick, let's do the race results. Our podium in Las Vegas was Max P1, Charles P2,
woo!
and Checo P3. The rest of the top 10 was Ocon P4, good for him.
Yeah.
Stroll P5, also good for Stroll.
Mm-hmm.
Sainz P6, Hamilton P7, George Russell P8, Fernando Alonso P9, and Oscar Piastri P10. So,
Again,
yeah,
a mixed bag of the top 10.
it really was. I mean, yeah, Ocon and Stroll up in fourth and fifth are the most like unexpected results there, or maybe Checo on the podium. Who knows?
Definitely Ocon and Stroll.
Yeah,
Checo should be there. He's just not there as often
yeah,
as he
he's
should.
been better recently, so good for him.
Yeah, he's probably feeling some pressure.
So, what would you give the race out of 10?
Entertainment value, 9.5 out of 10.
Okay,
Um,
I
it,
respect
it,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
it definitely. I saw a lot of takes where like it's a really bad track layout, but like it's kind of like Baku where it's not really like a good track, but always has good races, and I feel like Vegas will be like that for the foreseeable future, where it's not a great track. All the drivers kind of hate it, but then they love the racing.
yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I think it was a very entertaining race.
There's a lot of shit show moments for sure, which we'll dive into. But
Yep.
apart from that, I mean, I didn't love how it was at 1 o'clock, like
Yeah, that
Eastern
was
time.
I was gonna bring that up. Like I think the whole point of having the race in the US was that it's supposed to be good for US fans, but half of the US was like already asleep when the race was going on probably.
Yeah, like I liked the idea of like trying to incorporate like a night race.
Yeah.
Fine, sure, go for it. Makes sense for Vegas, but like maybe make it a little earlier. Like it's still dark at
It's
seven
literally like
o'clock.
the Australia race was at 2 a.m. for us.
Yeah, that
We're
part was
and they're
ridiculous.
racing in the same continent, but it was an hour earlier than Australia's race was, which is across the world. It's crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. And like it was a Saturday night. I don't know. Just
Yeah. Spoiler alert, I did not watch it live.
oh, so I did. I was at the bar.
I had
Um,
meant to, but I was blackout drunk and I forgot to. So,
that's fair.
yeah.
At least you owned up to it. That's good.
But
I
when I got home the next day, I watched the highlights when I woke up and I watched the whole race through. So,
okay.
it's all good.
You you probably have a better recollection of the race than I do. I was watching it with like no like there's no audio in the
Audio
middle
or
of the
anything, just
bar. Yeah, just vibes and
commentating in your head.
yeah. But it was still entertaining. I was definitely the only one in that bar that was even paying
Yeah, I'm surprised
remotely
they even
any
had it
attention.
on.
I asked. I
Okay,
asked.
good.
I asked
Yeah,
nicely.
when
Yep.
I was in Philly, like what race was it? I don't know. Allie and I were out at a bar in Philly with some friends, and we asked them to put it on, and they were refusing to. We were
Yep.
like closing down a place, and they still
Hmm.
refused to put the the F1 race on. I was like, what is your issue?
They're just haters. I actually did have to run home. Like, there was 10 laps left, and I was like, I have to run home. Like, the bar's going to close, and I'm not going to see the end of it. Which, thank God I did,
Yeah,
because the last lap was, we'll get into that, just very
great.
eventful.
It was good.
Yes. So we'll move on from that
Yeah, so
later. But,
let's go into our predictions for what we thought would happen at Las Vegas.
mm-hmm.
So for your podium, you had Max P1.
Yep.
Good job, obviously. Woo.
Yep.
So exciting. You had Lando P2.
Rest in
Sad.
peace.
Char- Charles P3. And
Mm,
then your wild prediction was Danny Rick gets points.
right.
So yeah, 1 out of 4.
Yeah, 1 out of 4.
But
Rest in peace, Lando.
you're thinking with Charles and P3 wasn't that far off.
No, it wasn't. Obviously, I'm much happier that he's in P2, so
Yeah.
no complaints there. And poor Danny just never saw top
You
10.
know,
So,
the AlphaTauri was not great. Not
nope,
great this race. I thought
nope,
that they had done some black magic with their car upgrade, but it apparently was only for
nope.
that triple header.
Yeah, it's down the hill there. But for your predictions, you had Max P1. Nice.
Huge.
Lando P2. So we both were thinking the
We were
same
on the
thing.
Lando train. Yeah.
Yep. Carlos P3. Yep. And then your wild card, no Mercedes in top 5.
Huge.
Which
That's
that was
big.
a yeah, that was like a impressive wild card.
Yeah, I mean I kind of figured Vegas wouldn't be strong for them. I think that they probably could have done better. They both had incidents that
Yep.
kind of messed their races up. And also I we'll talk about it, but if Carlos didn't get screwed, I think my P3 for Carlos could have happened.
I agree. I think it would have been very likely, and I was
Yeah.
just thinking that before this started. I don't know why I didn't have this thought earlier. Like, would Checo have gotten P3 if Carlos was actually starting?
Yeah, the other thing is if both Ferraris, were first and second, like they qualified,
Yeah.
then they could have fought off Max better.
Yeah, better.
Potentially. I mean,
Better.
it only Max only ended up winning like by like 2 seconds. I mean, he did slow down a little bit at the end. It was like I think it was like 4 seconds. But just having a second car there, like you could do what
Yeah,
Carlos and Lando did in Singapore, that kind of thing, where you're
true.
like, giving someone slipstream and kind of like defending. And
Yeah.
I think I don't know if Ferrari would have won, but I think they would have had a much better chance if Carlos did start P2.
Yeah. Hopefully, well, I guess we'll never know, but
No.
hopefully this next race doesn't end up poorly for Carlos, which I guess this is kind of maybe we can segue into race controversy because we're on it.
Yeah,
And then
we can go into that.
obviously the
That
penalty for Carlos
yeah,
was
like
absurd.
it's so the drain cover coming up or like manhole cover coming up has happened before on tracks. It's happened at
Hmm.
Baku, it's happened in Monaco. Just I feel like everyone was like rooting against Vegas, so the fact that
Yeah,
it happened like 10 minutes into the session and they had to red flag it was not a good start.
no,
And I was up for FP1. I think it was at like 11:30, 12, so it wasn't that late for us for FP1. And I was like, well, this sucks. I like was
yep.
like very excited to like be like this is the only live F1 I'm going to watch this weekend, and then it did not really happen.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks that he had to take a penalty for that,
Yeah.
and like the FIA was just kind of
Yeah,
like, "There's nothing that we can do," and it's like,
yeah,
I
it's
feel like
crazy
there's
cuz
something you can do.
so I was actually just watched a video from the race about this before we did this, and they were saying there is a rule, force majeure, where they can kind of do whatever, but if there's any reasonable doubt that another team will appeal it and they don't have a good like reasoning for it, then they're kind of like hesitant. And basically, Toto was saying like he was not going to let them not get a penalty. Obviously, like they're fighting for P2 and the constructors, so like it's a big thing for them. And yeah, it's hopefully they change the rule or change the rule to give some more leeway for like things that are out of the team's control. Um, but yeah, that's the fact that he had to take a 10 place grid penalty because of track damage is
Yeah,
kind of bullshit.
the way
Very
that it's
bullshit.
the way that it's 10 places too, like that is extreme. Second of all, Toto.
Yeah, it's well for that. It's like all like the engine components, like those kind of
Well,
components. If you
yeah,
go over for the
right,
first one, it's 10, and then everyone after that's 5. And obviously, they were trying to make it the whole
right.
season without, and then this happened. So
Well, Toto got his karma because Carlos finished above both of the
he
Mercedes,
did.
even with that penalty. So
Yeah,
honestly, that was a big FU to
yeah, and I think the
Mercedes.
gap between them and the constructors is 5 points, 4 points.
Um,
It's very close,
I
regardless.
think
Like
it's
it's
6.
okay, but yes. So going into Abu Dhabi next week, it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
tight.
Yes, and it's gonna be so good to watch. I can't
Yeah.
wait. It's kind of reminding me about last season when it was Charles versus Checo.
Hmm.
Like Abu Dhabi was like the race that determined it, kind of. So
Yeah.
I'm excited that there's finally a little bit of that competition
I
again.
do want to warn you.
Stop,
It's
stop,
probably gonna be more of a Mercedes
shut
track.
up, don't, shut up.
Well, okay, not super Mercedes, not a lot of slow stuff, but it's not like Vegas where it's a Ferrari track or like Monza or anything like that. So
It's
it's at
4
least
points.
it will be very close. It's 4 points.
It's 4 points.
Okay, I knew it was 4, 5, or
Yeah,
6. It was one of
I don't know.
those.
I don't know where I got. Oh wait, no, it's 6.
Okay, is it
Sorry.
4 or 6?
It's
You
6.
just forgot how to do math.
So I was looking at because McLaren's at 284
Okay.
and Ferrari's at 388, and I just kind of just saw that 84 and 88,
Uh,
even though that was a whole different team. I had a moment. Mercedes is at 392, Ferrari's at
hmm
388.
Okay. So
Wait, that's can I
wait,
do
yeah,
math?
wait. What yeah, you are struggling with your math right now.
Oh my god, cut that out! Holy shit!
I think that's gotta stay in. That's gonna be a clip.
That
That's
was
gotta be a
so.
clip.
That
You're
was
like working
so
out like 88, 92, 6.
There's a
Wait,
4 in
that's
there.
4. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was bad. That
Wow.
was really
That was
bad.
really, 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 really bad. Oh wow. Okay. 4 points. I don't know why I doubted myself. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Yeah, were there any other race controversies? I feel like not really.
uh, not
I guess
really.
the Max pushing Charles off, but that's the we've talked about it so many times this season, the 5 second penalty not being strict enough, and
Yeah.
the fact that it took them 16 laps to figure out if they were even
Yeah.
gonna give him a penalty is kind of crazy as
I
well.
mean, I thought it was pretty obvious he deserved it. Like he
Oh
literally
yeah.
pushed Charles off the track.
I
Like there
think
was no controversy.
it
I don't
was
know why they
so
thought.
obvious, and then yeah, I don't
I will say I like Max's response of like, all right,
know.
like
Send
send
my
my
regards.
regards. Like he's such a savage.
He's so unbothered. He just like does not care at all. He's like, all right,
Not
I'll
at
just go
all.
win by 5 seconds or no
I mean,
problem.
he had nothing to lose anyway, but
Yeah,
he
I
did
mean it
apologize
was
for
better
it.
for him because track position was pretty important. I mean, to
Yeah,
be fair, Charles did end up overtaking him in that stint because
yeah,
Max's tires were not doing well. But yeah, just the 5 second
yeah,
penalty is just too lenient. It's
yeah.
not bad enough for them.
But 10 grid places.
Yeah, well obviously you can't really do it in a race, but
Well, yeah,
like next race penalties, like maybe like a 5 second penalty and a 5 place grid penalty for the next race or something like that. They should start
something.
doing
Yeah,
like combo ones where you don't only get penalized in the race, but then next race as well. I feel like that could be a good potential solution.
could be, or just maybe like I don't know. I can't start making rules. I don't even know how to do math. So
Yeah, let that. You gotta be able to add count up to 5 to be on the FIA board.
whoo, good thing I can only make it to 4. So moment of the race. What was your favorite
Yeah,
moment?
so I didn't have a specific one because you took what I was gonna say, but I just wanted to give a shout out to the race itself. It had the most overtakes in a race since China 2016.
Wow.
99 overtakes.
Didn't I thought that there was another race this
It
season
was
had.
most overtakes in a dry race.
Okay.
The was it Zandvoort or Hungary where it rained and they were doing all the different strategies
Yeah.
and there were like
Okay.
100 overtakes.
Okay. So okay, got it. I
Yes,
was about to.
dry. Yeah, dry race most
That
since
makes
China
sense.
2016. So yeah, I feel like having that super long straight, just kind of same as Baku really. That's
Yeah.
really good for overtaking.
Yeah. Definitely a fun race to watch for
Yeah,
that reason. Yeah. So obviously, my moment of the race was Charles overtaking Checo on the last lap
that
to
makes
finish
sense.
second. Iconic. I was obviously like coming back from my night out and I was like rushing to get it on. And I was like, fuck, like this sucks. Charles starting P1, ending P3, like whatever, like typical. And then just by the grace of God, last minute basically, he overtook him
Yeah,
and it so iconic.
and it was funny because like Max was like, or they were asking Max to like slow down to try to help Checo. He's like, "Oh, I guess I'll try," and he slowed down by like a second, but was still like 2.5 seconds
Yeah.
ahead. So wasn't really doing much.
I don't think he
Um,
wanted to really help. I think he probably, I mean, we all know that Charles and Max have this little bromance going on.
yes,
I feel like he probably wanted to help Charles out a little bit after, pushing him off the track.
no, absolutely not.
I
If
think,
Max had that mentality, Lando would have won at least once this season already.
yeah, but like it's
Who has more?
the
Who do you think has more of a bromance? Lando and Max or Charles and Max?
I feel like Charles and Max have known each other for longer.
Mm-hmm.
I think they respect each other a lot as drivers and
Yeah.
competitors. I think Lando and Max have more of like a friendship like outside of
Yeah,
F1.
I totally agree. I feel like Lando and Max are um, like great friends, away from the track.
Yeah.
But then on track, Max and Charles have the
Yeah.
bromance going for sure.
And the difference between Max helping Charles and Lando, theoretically, I mean, with Lando, it would require Max to lose. And in this
It
situation,
didn't.
it didn't. So it didn't hold as much weight.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Who
That's
Max
what-
doesn't care about a P2, but he was not going to give up a P1.
Maybe he's plotting to have Checo removed as his
Maybe.
partner.
Well, if the rumors were to be believed, it was if Checo didn't get P2, he'd be
Yeah.
gone. But
Yeah.
driver
He,
highlight, good for
yep.
Checo. He got
Yeah.
P2 in the most dominant car that's ever been in F1.
Shocker that it took
Wow.
this long. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats, Checo. You're cool.
Also, good for Red Bull. This is their first ever 1-2 in the drivers
Oh, really?
industry. Yeah,
Wow.
which is pretty impressive considering like it's when Vettel was winning, they never got it, but
Yeah.
it was way more competitive back then. It
Yeah.
wasn't like they were running away with it as much as
Yeah.
Max did this year.
Yeah. No, I mean, good for them, I guess. It makes sense. So glad he's not getting fired, I guess.
Yeah, I just if next season is close and they like lose the constructors because of Checo, it'll be very funny.
Oh, that would be funny,
Like
but hopefully.
I've seen so many comparisons of like Checo's percentage of points compared to like Alex and Pierre, and Checo's the worst this
Oh,
season.
wow.
Like it's bad. Yeah,
Well,
but I guess Red Bull has they're less I don't know aggressive on their driver swaps. I don't know.
doesn't make sense, but
No, it doesn't at all. But it's low stakes, right? They're not losing
yeah.
constructors. But
Yeah.
I wonder though if it is close next year, if it's like halfway through the season and it's like really close and he's not doing well. I think if that happens, I think he'd be gone.
I agree, but I think he has to be doing like really, really poorly.
Yes, if it's going to cost them money
Yeah.
or a constructor's
And the
position,
championship, yeah,
yes, yeah,
agreed. We'll see.
yeah. Well, hopefully next year we get to see something like that where it's actually a close battle. That would be fun.
Hopefully. Yeah. That would be exciting. Moving on. Stats and nerdy shit.
Yeah, so this is a different one. This is taking everybody's um, best lap during the race and their sector times. Um, so Do you understand that, or do you need me to explain? So you
Explain
know
it a little
how
bit.
so
Oh, okay. See it.
Oscar
I see
Oscar
it.
did the fastest lap. During
Yep.
his fastest lap, those were his sector times. So the top one, that's the
Got it.
sector one time, sector two, sector three. Same goes for everyone else for their fastest lap of the
Yep.
race, all their sector times.
Oh, wow, wow. I was just
So
confused by the track on there.
yeah, I don't know. I guess just for a visual, just to see the
Yeah.
pig.
Yep. The pig, the upside down pig. I'm glad you see it
um,
now.
but yeah, so it's interesting here. Oscar got the fast lap of the race, but he didn't have the fastest sector time in any of the sectors,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Um, the Red Bulls were the fastest in the first and second sector, but like
Mm-hmm.
not actually that good in the last sector,
Wow.
which is where the huge straight is. But I think
Yeah.
that's also partly because for a lot of the race, neither of them had DRS,
Fair.
and that's where the DRS is. So like that's why I see like Hamilton was in DRS a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo, who was down towards the bottom of the grid, in DRS a lot. So that's why he was up there.
That makes
Um,
sense.
and then yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see like the difference between P1. So if you look in sector one, there's a second difference in the sector times between Yuki and Max, and then
Oh my-
it's like the same for each of the other sectors. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
It's
just
so close.
like at the same time, whereas like everyone's saying like these cars are supposed to like be getting closer in racing, there's less of a performance difference and stuff. Like during a race, I feel like that's when you really see where the good cars
Mm-hmm.
stand out, and like that's a massive difference
Yeah.
between them. So just pretty much all I got for this one. Just a little quick look into everyone's fastest lap and seeing
Huh.
how fast the Red Bulls were and how slow everyone else was, pretty much.
It was interesting. I'm curious to see where Lando would have fit into all of this.
Yeah, I think so. Oscar got screwed because of obviously the puncture with Lewis, but
Yeah.
also his tire strategy because he went hard, and then he couldn't. He the tire could have lasted to the end, but there's the rule where you have to have the two different
Yeah.
tires, so he had to box, and then it was done.
Interesting.
Whereas
Yeah.
Lando started on medium, so if he had switched to the hard at the same time, the Oscar could have potentially finished like I think Oscar was running like second or third when he pit or something like that. Or no, he had gotten passed by Charles, Max, and Checo, so he was fourth. Oscar was fourth.
Yeah.
So I think potentially Lando could have been like fifth or sixth, something like that.
Yeah. Well,
But it
interesting.
wasn't to be. Damn bump in the
No.
track, which is kind of like a funny excuse. Like I don't know. I like
It is funny.
Lando
I
is
mean, it's sad,
Lando
but
is like one of the best. Like in the last 3 years, I think he's like second lowest behind Max on like the Destructors Championship, where like looking at car damage. But this one, just straight up, that was just a bad
that was
mistake on his
that
part.
was so bad.
Yeah.
Poor thing was like in the
I also
hospital.
I had seen in the highlight that he crashed, but then watching the live or not the live, like the replay of the whole race, literally like they cut the camera right as you start seeing sparks of him
Yeah.
crashing, and then the commentators are both like, "Oh my god, someone just crashed!" And then
Yeah.
it takes like 5 seconds for them to like go back to the crash, and then
Yeah, I know. They're like,
I was
what's
like,
going
"Shit,
on?
there's
I,
Lando."
I remember like watching it live and I was like, who crashed? Like I'm in the bar. I'm like, who is that? I can't hear anything. And
Yeah,
like obviously they weren't showing anything. And then I saw his Lando. I was like, no.
so sad.
So
Also,
sad.
his radio mess, he was so out of breath.
Oh my god, he must be in shock.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they were saying you're going 180 miles per hour at that corner, so like that's
Yeah,
a
that's
big
scary.
impact. And like
That's
he was just
scary.
riding along the wall like the whole
Yeah.
time, and then eventually went into that runoff area and hit the barrier back there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank God he's
definitely.
okay.
Yeah, I saw tweets like obviously he had already been released at that point, but I saw tweets that he had gone to the hospital and it's like just for precautionary measures. But
Well, I think he was like drugged up, like because the pictures of him like in the gurney, he
oh,
looked
that they did look
so
pretty. I
out
don't
of
think he was.
it.
I don't. I think he was just like he was just vibing. I don't know.
I,
Maybe he was partying too hard before the race. He was just drunk.
no, like I heard, like I mean, I guess there's like theories on whether he was medicated or not, but like he looked completely like out of it.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, it was a funny, but I feel like it's kind of hard for anyone to look normal in a gurney when you're like under a blanket in the
I
hospital.
guess. But he did look like he was just like he had himself a
It is a
nightmare.
funny
So
picture. It is a
it is.
very funny
It
picture.
is. Well, moving on to funny things. Meme of the week.
Yeah, so we'll start with mine. This
Yep.
is not directly related to the race, but this is a funny one because the next race is in Abu Dhabi. And so the meme is, what if we use 0% of our brain? And it's the
Yep.
flight from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi is literally like across the world.
Yep.
And F1 has been like saying this whole thing about being sustainable and like carbon neutral in 10 years. Yet they, for whatever reason, decided to plan like the furthest apart that they could for these races.
Yeah,
And
wow.
yeah,
That's
they're a
bad.
big brain over there.
Huh. But yeah. Sorry. I was lagging for a second.
Oh, okay.
I was having another math moment.
Trying to do the math of
I was
zero
just
percent brain. Like, how much is that?
no, well, if you want to know the honest truth, I was like, couldn't the plane just fly the other way?
They're not
Like,
showing
would that?
everything on the other side there.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, would that be faster? Or,
My guess is probably not. I
well,
feel like they
yeah.
would. I feel like they would have showed it. Like this is like
Well, maybe they were trying to be funny. I don't know. Okay, I just wanted to
fair, fair.
brainstorm the options here.
Yeah, use those math skills. Let's see what we can do here. Speed up the plane. Maybe they just go like down and then they end
Yeah.
up on the other side.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, all right.
All right. So what was your
Pretty.
meme?
So I just sent it to you, but it's a picture of a chihuahua and it's like kind of angry and it's like Max all weekend because all weekend he was bitching about how much he hates the track, the race, like everything. He was like, I hate it, it sucks. And then it's Max after winning the race and it's the chihuahua like smiling. I
That
think
is
it was
pretty good.
funny because like he wins the race and he's singing Viva Las Vegas. Like all of a sudden he
Yeah.
switched up really
Yeah,
quickly.
the entire weekend he was shitting on it, and he was like,
Yeah.
"It's 99% entertainment, 1% racing. I don't get it." And then right after he wins, he's like, "Yeah, it was a great race. Like probably one of the most fun I've had in a while." Just
I guess it was maybe more of a
complete 180.
I guess it was more of like a challenge for him. It definitely wasn't as like big of a gap for him in winning.
Yep.
Um, but that was so funny. He was literally the biggest hater, and then all of a
And
sudden
then
it's good.
all love in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Viva Las Vegas, baby.
It is pretty funny though. I
Yeah.
feel like he was probably on the what a lot of the fans were thinking that was going to be a shit show, but you know, it worked out.
Well, also their tracks or their suits were ridiculous. Like
The red ones,
well, it
or
was red
do you
and
mean?
white, and they were like
Yeah, yeah,
Elvis.
yes,
I think it just all plays into like I get they want to make like Vegas this big
yeah,
spectacle, like get all the American fans in, but like it was kind of really hard to watch a little bit, like
yeah.
how cringy all of that was. And
The
those
driver
race
announcement with
suits.
Perez, honorable mention,
Oh my
like not a meme, but meme worthy, like where he just announced, he walks up to the announcer, he's just standing there, and neither of
he's
them
like
know
oh,
what to do.
there's videos of like everyone doing that. There's videos of like I think it was Albon just like walking back
Yep.
like
Yeah. I
also
saw in the
on
background you
the
can see Logan trying to yell at him to like get him to like
yeah.
come over and Alex just looks so lost.
Also, can we talk about how the presenter called Charles Charrel?
Yes. Did you see the
And
card?
you, yeah, it said Charles. Like, I guess he was trying to say
Yeah,
Charles.
he was trying to do the
He was,
pronunciation of it, but it was like Charles. It
he was
was
like
so bad.
Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
I was
So
like, oh, it's
funny.
getting more and more painful as we go.
So cringy. So
It was
bad.
hilarious, though. Yeah, what a
Yes.
spectacle.
But
But
maybe that's what they were going for. It was entertaining. Just
it
not
was
in a
not in the way
on
they probably
purpose
wanted.
way. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, moving on to predictions for
Yeah.
next week at Abu Dhabi, last race of the season.
It is crazy that we're already at the last race of the season.
I know.
I already want next season to happen just because I
I
want
know.
someone to hopefully challenge Red Bull.
I know. I feel like I've been waiting for next season since like race 3.
Yeah, just scrap the
Maybe
whole
like
season.
4.
Let's just go next year. Yeah,
Yeah, hopefully there's like some contenders. Yeah.
fingers
Um,
crossed.
so I'll start with my predictions.
All right,
So
let's see what you got cooking.
we got Max P1, no brainer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put a Charles P2.
Okay.
And so because of this, I'm putting for my wild prediction, I'm putting Carlos P3. And my wild prediction is that Ferrari overtakes Mercedes in the Constructors' Cup.
So you are going all in on
Uh-huh.
Ferrari for Abu Dhabi.
I have to.
I like it. I respect it.
There's no option.
I think it would be pretty funny if Ferrari takes it. Just because
It,
I don't know. I feel like Mercedes has just been especially with like them being annoying about the penalty last race. I feel like it would be fitting and some karma.
yeah, like I feel like they deserve it. And I don't know, Charles finished P2 last year
Yeah.
in Abu Dhabi, so
And over the
obviously
season,
different
Ferrari
car.
have been the second fastest car. They have just been
Yeah,
kind of unlucky,
bad luck.
very
Yes, but
unlucky.
I'm manifesting that they pull through when it matters and they'll get second in the Constructors' Cup. So
All right,
there's
let's go
my
Ferrari.
there's mine.
Let's see.
Woo! I'll wear
So
my new jersey.
I haven't done the actual calculations. I think it's more than four, so I'll need a calculator. But I think I'm ahead and pretty locked in on the predictions. So I went a little crazy here.
Right.
I did not take the free space. I'm going for
Thank
Lando
God.
P1.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna get his first win for the last race of this
Okay.
season.
Okay.
Um,
That's bold.
I'm going Max P2,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going
Okay.
Lewis P3.
Okay. So you are
And
not
then
wanting a Ferrari win in the Constructors' Cup. Second.
no. Lewis can get third. Maybe Charles and Carlos get four and five, and George is like
Okay.
out of the points. That's allowed. That's fine.
Okay. 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 All right.
Yeah. And then my wild prediction is that Lando gets P4 of the drivers. So I think
Oh,
between him, Carlos, and Fernando, it's like 6 points.
5.
Five. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So Carlos and
if
Alonso are at 200 and Lando's at 195.
okay, so if Lando wins, he's guaranteed P4.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, so that's those are my predictions. Definitely think they are going to come true.
Okay. All right. You know what? I will manifest
You're
that for
allowed to
you as well.
manifest your Ferrari stuff. I'm going to
I
manifest
am.
my
I am. I
Lando
am.
stuff.
I
And
would love for Lando to win. I would love that. Maybe there's a max DNF.
maybe Lando wins and Charles or P and Carlos are P2 and
Yeah.
3, and then we both get
Yeah.
what we want.
Exactly. That will
Yes,
be the best day. Yep. Okay, cool.
that's our combined prediction.
Yep, that's
Lando,
what we're
Charles, Carlos.
and that's what's going to happen.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
0% chance it does not happen. It's definitely gonna happen.
There's no other option.
All right. So moving on to Hinge pickup line of the week. What do you got for
Hmm.
us?
All right. We got two. A little,
Okay.
keep them PG here.
Okay.
This first one says, this is from Dan. He
All
said,
right.
would would be fun to go for a stroll, then Verstappen somewhere for a drink after.
That's not bad. Honestly, I'm not I don't hate
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. That's
It's fine. I'd give it like a 6.
yeah, like
It's not like
6.5.
it's not like over the top. It's
Yeah.
using some names, just kinda like
It's not
it could be like just a nice date. Just going on a
yeah.
stroll and Verstappen for some drinks.
Yeah. Like it's wholesome. I liked it. It's
Yes.
not as like vulgar.
Yeah, there's been some vulgar ones recently, so
Yes.
it's a good change up.
Yeah,
I'm
we're staying wholesome here.
yeah, a fan of that, Dan.
Yeah. Okay, this next one, Tyler. This
Hmm.
was a new one, honestly.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm shocked that I haven't gotten this before. When are you free? Question mark. I'll send a car. Like Senna.
Oh,
Yep.
ah,
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
That
That
was
is good.
clever. I
Yeah,
liked that one.
I
I
do.
honestly will give that an 8.
I'll give it a 7.5. I think it's pretty
Oh.
good. It only used one name instead of two like the last one, but
Yeah, but
I
it
like
was,
it. It's a little bit cleaner,
yeah.
but
It's
yeah,
cleaner and it's incorporating like F1 like history a little bit
yes, it's not
more.
just the new current
Mm-hmm.
drivers.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. I like it, and
Keep it
I feel like, yeah, I feel like a lot of the ones that you've seen haven't been like the creative ones using drivers' names. Like I think
right.
there's been like a few, but not as many as I would have expected.
Yeah. It's just been a lot of like pit stops and
Yeah,
curves and straights and
that
tires.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So we kept it wholesome. Vegas was raunchy enough. We could
Yeah,
keep it
yeah.
on PG.
F1 can handle the vulgarity for this
Yep.
week, and
Yep.
we'll be wholesome. This is a wholesome podcast now
We
for
have
this week
changed.
only.
And just that one moment.
Yeah, minus all the
Like
cursing that we
cursing.
we did earlier.
Wholesome though. Still wholesome.
Yes,
Still
it was
wholesome.
wholesome cursing.
Yes. Yes. We meant no harm.
Exactly, exactly.
But yeah, that concludes the Vegas GP episode of Gas.
Yeah, I think that's gas. I am looking forward to Lando winning next week. I hope
Hmm.
you are as well.
Yeah, I am, and Ferrari getting second in the
Yes,
constructors. I'm
that too.
excited. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a good race, last race, and yeah, check it out. Oh,
yeah. Check us out on all of the socials that everyone uses. We're there.
we are there.
All right.